イザベル先生、お久しぶりです。お変わりないですか？ウータンの皆さんもお元気ですか？ボルネオ島への訪問ができず、とても残念です。今年もホロニクスグループの病院で実施している募金活動で集まった募金をウータンへお送りしました。ウータンの植林活動にご活用いただけると嬉しいです。ボルネオ島を訪問してからもう6年が経ちました。私たちが植林したイチジクなどの木々も随分大きく育ち、実をつけるまでに成長していれば嬉しく思います。この数年で NGO ウータンの活動も進んでいると思います。最近の活動についてお聞かせいただけますか？
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Dani, for your kind words. It's very much appreciated, and for the support from Mirai Process for all these years. So thank you from all the UTAN team. We've grown a lot. We have 108 employees now in 2026, and reforestation is one part of it. So I'll share a brief update of the highlights last year. So one of the big component that we've focused on last year was surveying orangutan population throughout Sabah. Our last survey was almost 20 years ago, and we found that there was about 11,000 orangutans in the whole state. So we're doing it again this year, trying to see how the populations are doing, if increasing or decreasing. So we started last year, and this year we've done 5 main expeditions in different forest reserves. So it's still ongoing. We still have some surveys to do in 2026, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll be able to have a good idea of how the Sabah orangutan population is doing. Something new this year, we've started using drones to survey orangutans. So either during daytime or nighttime with thermal imagery, as you can see. And so it's actually amazing to be able to see orangutans from from the air. And it helped a lot doing the surveys as well. For the reforestation that you've been supporting for a long time. So I'm very happy to announce that we finished planting the wildlife corridor that you visited. So the project started in 2019. And we replanted the entire 110 acres of mature oil palm plantation that was given away by the Genting plantation to create the wildlife corridor. So in total we planted 71,000 plus trees of 56 native species. And specifically last year, we focus mostly on maintenance. That's a lot of young trees that need to be maintained, removing the shrubs and grasses to make sure they survive. We've employed last year 25 women from the village of Sukau and nearby villages, and also involved more than 60 women from the other villages for training and participating in reforestation activities. And we've worked very closely with a network of 40 village home nurseries from whom we buy the native seedlings, creating some income for the village households. So as I said, last year was maintenance. It's a really hard work, but the teams are doing well. They've done this all year long, and they've also starting assessing how the new corridor is functioning. So they're doing phenology study, which is looking at the fruits and the fruit production, leaf production of the trees that have been planted, so we can start seeing some of the older trees already producing fruits and food for orangutans and other wildlife. So we've selected actually the species planted from our long-term research on orangutans and other species, knowing this is really their favorite food. We've also looking at the changes in the environment, in the corridor, looking at carbon sequestration through biomass study, also looking at the health of the soil. So we start really seeing a big difference since we started reforestation in improving the whole environment in the corridor, and we continued monitoring the recolonization by wildlife of the corridor, and we can start to see critically endangered species using the corridor now on a daily basis. So it's all very, very good news. And we will continue in 2026, continue the maintenance and the monitoring there. But we also will start a new reforestation site, which we are in the process of identifying right now. The reforestation team, so about 25 women and the nursery, the village home nurseries, have gone through intensive training on nursery management, especially on the insects and invertebrate pests and diseases that affect plant nurseries. So we've working with two botanists from the University of Malaysia Sabah, and they're absolutely excited to see all the insects and pests we have in our nursery. But they're also teaching us how to control and maintain those pest population and diseases. And this is very important because when you do reforestation, you don't want to bring sick trees into the forest when you plant them, and they could contaminate all the forest around it. So now we want to make sure that all the saplings that we bring into the reforestation site are perfectly healthy. There was quite a few other highlights in 2025. The big news is in September, the Kinabatangan landscape was designated as a biosphere reserve under UNESCO Man and the Biosphere Reserve program. So this is the effort by the Sabah government, and UTAN was honored to be mandated to prepare the nomination dossier, and we were very happy and very proud that it was successfully approved by UNESCO in September. So sometime this year, the Sabah government and hopefully UTAN will participate in this, will start implementing the activities for the Biosphere Reserve. And maybe you've seen or remember early last year that was we had a big flooding, the Kinabatangan. I mean, it's a floodplain that floods regularly, but last year was particularly intense. Our field office was flooded from February until May, and there was a lot of damages. So we created an appeal to our donors, and we're very happy to say that we raised sufficient funds to relocate our office, and we plan to start construction of a first pilot phase in the next few months, so our teams can have a safe flood-free place to operate from. So that's it from me. That's the highlights from last year. Thank you. Well, thank you for your kind words. Yes, ecotourism is of course something very special for Kinabatangan. It's such an amazing place. But UTAN, we are a non-profit research and conservation organization, so it's not within our scope. to do ecotourism ourselves, but we fully support community-based, community-led ecotourism initiatives. So at the moment there's the homestay program and some community B&Bs, but still I can see over the years there's not enough accommodation for visitors. It's extremely difficult. It's harder to find a room in Tsukao than maybe in Osaka. So definitely there's a lot of progress to be done there, and I really believe that the new biosphere reserve is going to be the right avenue to support the development of community ecotourism. UTAN is always there to help as well. And in terms of support from the local government or local companies, at the moment we are very honored to be allowed to get all the permits and technical support and collaboration from the different Sabah government departments, but we entirely fund the project at the moment. What we're looking specifically for orangutan, we're looking at over the year which species they've eaten the most, and also we have that phenology study that allow us to know which species are fruiting and producing leaves and so on. And what we're very still surprised to see over the past 30 years is the orangutans have a very flexible diet, and they're able to adjust to conditions, and they're not always looking for the exact same tree species. They can adjust to whatever is here. Of course, there's some which are favorite, and they're willing to travel a lot to find that particular species. But generally, there is hardly no period during the year without food, and that's because in the old primary forest where the cycles are very slow, and then you have very clear marked period of abundance and period with less food available. But Kinabatangan is still a very degraded, regenerating forest, and the tree species are quite different, and they usually produce more food supplies for orangutan across the year.
So it's a bit different here in Japan. So about maybe some news about bear sighting in Japan, there's been a lot lately because of the scarceness of food over here. So hearing that there's abundance of food throughout the year is reassuring.
Yes, but still orangutans are very curious and ready to try all sorts of food. So they will go into all palm plantation, try to eat the palm fruits. They love to go in people's backyards where they're all the domestic fruits, durian, mangosteen, and are there as well. So there is still conflicts, not life-threatening as with the bears or with the elephants, but the orangutan are smarter than that. They can find their way and safely navigate the landscape.
私たちも大阪に新しく開設した医誠会国際総合病院周辺を緑豊かな環境後世につなぐ活動を始めています。病院を中心に近くの公園を緑でつなぐ緑の回廊プロジェクトです。新しい病院のある地域には100年以上前には桜並木がありました。そこで新しい病院の周囲にも桜を植樹し、桜並木の復元を目指しています。また、病院の屋上で養蜂を行い、地域の緑化促進に貢献しています。身近な場所でできる環境へのアプローチに取り組んでいます。 長らくボルネオ島への訪問ができていませんが、また必ず訪問したいと思っています。その時はウータンの活動の成果をぜひ拝見したいと思っています。ウータンの活動への募金を継続して、これからも活動を応援したいと思います。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much, Dr. Isabel, for your time.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Goodbye. Have a good
Goodbye.
day.
Have a good day.